AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding after she told me I had to babysit her kids without pay. I, 32F, have a complicated relationship with my sister, 29F, and things recently came to a head in a way I'm still struggling to process. I'm posting here because I feel like I'm being unfairly vilified by my family for something that felt totally unreasonable to me. My sister and I have always been different in how we approach family, work, and responsibility. She's married with 2 kids, ages 4 and 2, and lives about an hour away from me. I'm single, no kids, and I have a full-time job that I enjoy but also demands a lot of my time and energy. I've never minded helping her out occasionally, like watching her kids for a few hours or helping with errands when she's overwhelmed. But I've always made clear that I have limits and that my own life and responsibilities come first. Recently, my sister got engaged and set a wedding date for early next year. It's a relatively small ceremony with around 50 guests planned. A few weeks ago, she called me out of the blue and said she wanted to discuss something important. I was expecting maybe a bridesmaid role or some minor favor. Instead, she dropped this bombshell. She wanted me to commit to babysitting her 2 kids full days for the entire weekend of the wedding. The reason? She and her husband wanted to throw a rehearsal dinner and a post-wedding brunch for the adults and wanted to leave the kids with someone reliable. At first, I was stunned. I told her that I had no problem helping out a few hours here and there, but that watching her kids for full days during her wedding weekend wasn't something I could do. It's not that I don't like her kids. They're great, but watching young children is exhausting and requires full attention, and I have a demanding job and my own social life. I also didn't appreciate being told I had to do this, as if it were an obligation rather than a favor. She got upset and said, "You're my sister. This is family. I shouldn't have to pay or bribe you to watch your nephews. You're the only family I can count on here." I reminded her that she has other family members and friends who have offered help, and also that it's normal to expect some compensation or at least more reasonable arrangements for such a big commitment. I even offered to help for a few hours on the day of the wedding, but not for the entire weekend. That's when she said something that really hurt. "If you're not going to support me on my big day, maybe you shouldn't come at all." It felt like an ultimatum. I told her I would think about it, but honestly, I felt insulted and frustrated. The idea that supporting her meant sacrificing my entire weekend to babysit didn't sit right. I decided not to attend the wedding. I told her I loved her and wanted to celebrate with her, but that I wasn't willing to babysit all weekend unpaid, and that if that was a condition for my attendance, I had to decline. The family caught wind of this, and suddenly, I became the bad sister who was selfish and ruined the wedding. My parents tried to mediate, but also hinted that I should put family first and make sacrifices. I get that, but the way my sister framed it was so demanding and controlling. It wasn't a request. It was a requirement. Plus, the fact that she would rather have me not show up at all than just say, "Okay, we'll find someone else," felt like emotional manipulation. Since then, I've been bombarded with texts and calls from family members trying to guilt me. They say I'm making a big deal out of nothing, that babysitting kids is not that hard, and that families should support each other no matter what. But honestly, I'm exhausted by the idea of being forced into a role I didn't sign up for, especially on a weekend that's supposed to be about celebrating. I'm starting to question if I was wrong to say no and skip the wedding, or if my sister and family are being unfair to me. I want to maintain a relationship with my sister, but I'm also hurt and frustrated by how this was handled. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to babysit my sister's kids all weekend and deciding not to attend her wedding because of it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding after she humiliated me in front of our entire family. So here's the story. I, 29F, have been engaged to my fiancé, Mark, 31M, for about a year now. We've been together for 6 years, and after dating through college and early adulthood, we finally decided to make it official. We're planning a wedding for next summer, something intimate with around 70 guests, mostly close family and friends. My sister, Jess, 26F, is a huge part of our family dynamic, but things between us have been complicated for years. She's the youngest in the family and has always been the wild child, unpredictable, blunt, and honestly, sometimes downright mean. Our parents tend to coddle her and dismiss a lot of her behavior as just Jess being Jess, but growing up, it caused a lot of tension, especially between the two of us. We used to be close, but over the past few years, it's gotten worse. About 3 months ago, we had a big family gathering to celebrate my birthday. Mark and I were there, along with both our parents, Jess, and a few cousins. The night started off fine, but as the evening wore on, Jess got progressively more drunk and loud. I should add that I'm not someone who enjoys being the center of attention, and Jess tends to like stirring the pot when she's had a few drinks. During the party, Jess started making snide comments about my engagement and my fiancé. It began with small jabs like, "Mark's nice, but I don't get why you settled so quickly," and escalated to more hurtful remarks. At one point, she loudly asked in front of everyone, "So, are you sure Mark's not just some safe option because you're too scared to find someone better?" Everyone went quiet, and I felt my face flush with embarrassment. I asked her to stop, but she just laughed and said, "I'm just being honest. If you can't handle it, maybe you shouldn't have invited me." Mark was visibly uncomfortable but stayed quiet. Our parents tried to change the subject, but Jess kept at it. Eventually, she pulled me aside and said, "You're always playing the victim. Maybe if you weren't so uptight, people would actually like you." At that moment, I lost it and told her she was being selfish and cruel, and that if she couldn't respect my happiness, maybe she shouldn't be at the party at all. After that, Jess stormed out. The rest of the night was tense, and the family hasn't really talked about it since. But I felt humiliated in front of everyone, and it was hard to shake the feeling that Jess was trying to undermine me on purpose. Since then, I've been thinking a lot about the upcoming wedding. I initially planned to invite Jess because, despite everything, I didn't want to exclude family. But after the birthday party incident, I'm seriously reconsidering. Mark supports me, saying he doesn't want anyone there who will cause drama or make me uncomfortable on what should be one of the best days of my life. When I brought it up to my parents, they flipped out. They said I was being petty and immature for not inviting Jess, especially since it's a family event. They think I should forgive and forget and give Jess a chance to make things right. My parents also said that excluding Jess would create a rift in the family and that I'm the one causing unnecessary drama by holding a grudge. I told them that I'm not sure I can trust Jess not to cause a scene or humiliate me again. They accused me of being too sensitive and said Jess's comments were just jokes and not meant to be hurtful. I stood my ground and told them I won't invite her unless she apologizes sincerely and shows she's willing to change. My parents then tried to pressure Jess into apologizing, but Jess refused, saying she had no regrets and that it's my fault for being so uptight. Now, the whole family is divided. Some relatives think I'm justified for protecting my mental health and happiness, while others think I'm being harsh and unnecessarily dramatic. Jess has been texting me passive-aggressive messages like, "Hope you have fun with your perfect little wedding," and "Don't be surprised when no one shows up to defend you." I'm stuck. I want to have a joyful day without conflict, but I'm torn between wanting family support and protecting myself from potential humiliation. AITA for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding after what happened? Would you have given her a second chance or stood firm? AITA for refusing to lend my sister money for her wedding after she excluded me from the bridal party and then acted like I didn't matter? This has been a long time coming, and I'm still trying to make sense of everything that's happened in the past year. I'm going to try to give all the details because I want people to understand why I feel the way I do. This situation has fractured my relationship with my sister, and honestly, I'm not sure if it can ever go back to normal. I'm 28F, and my sister, 30F, is getting married next spring. We've always been close-ish growing up, but as we got older, things became more complicated. We never fought, but we definitely weren't best friends either. We saw each other on holidays and family gatherings, but we both had busy lives. I didn't think there was anything strange about that. A little background about our relationship with money. Our parents were never wealthy, and they taught us to be responsible with what we had. We both worked hard through college and after. I have a decent job in marketing, and my sister works in real estate. Our parents helped with some of the wedding costs, but my sister and her fiancé are covering most of it themselves. Fast forward to the wedding planning. About 9 months ago, my sister announced who her bridal party would be. I was shocked when I wasn't included. Not just that, I was excluded entirely without any explanation. No, sorry, it's a small party. No, we want to keep it intimate. Nothing. I wasn't even asked to be a bridesmaid or a maid of honor. I wasn't invited to any pre-wedding events like dress shopping or the bachelorette party. It was like I didn't exist. I confronted her about it gently, hoping to understand. She brushed it off, saying she wanted only a very small group of friends and family, and that I knew how she felt. That was the last time I got a real conversation about it. Her fiancé's friends and family took up almost all the spots, and my sister's closest friends were also in the party, but not me. It hurt a lot because I thought we were close enough that she'd want me by her side on one of the biggest days of her life. Things got worse when the invitations for the bridal shower went out. I wasn't invited, and my parents told me that my sister said she was keeping it limited and didn't want me there because she felt I was too negative. That was a surprise because I'd never said anything negative about the wedding or her fiancé. I tried reaching out to her again, but she just stopped responding to my texts. Despite all this, I tried to be supportive. I congratulated her publicly, I sent gifts, and I told my parents to still expect me at the wedding, even if I wasn't part of the party. I thought maybe I was overreacting, but the cold shoulder continued. Then, about 3 months ago, my sister came to me with an unexpected request. She said she was short on money for some last-minute costs, decorations, catering add-ons, the photographer, and she asked if I could lend her $5,000. That's a lot of money for me, and honestly, I don't have that kind of cash lying around. I'm still paying off student loans and rent. Also, considering how she had excluded me from the bridal party and the shower, I was stunned. I told her I couldn't lend her that much money. I explained my financial situation and also that I felt hurt about how she'd treated me. I offered to help in other ways, like helping with decorations or logistics, but I couldn't part with that kind of money. She exploded. She accused me of being selfish, unsupportive, and that I was letting the whole family down. She said if I wasn't going to help financially, maybe I shouldn't come to the wedding at all. This felt like a slap in the face. After everything, I wasn't trying to ruin her day. I just wanted to be treated with some respect and fairness. I told her I'd still attend because it was her day, but I wouldn't be funding it. Since then, the family atmosphere has been tense. My parents are caught in the middle, trying to keep peace but also sympathizing with both sides. Some relatives have taken my sister's side, saying it's her wedding and she has every right to decide who to invite and what to do with her money. Others think she was unfair to exclude me and then demand money. I honestly don't know if I'm the jerk here. Am I wrong for refusing to lend her that money when she basically shut me out of the wedding festivities? Should I have just given her the cash and kept quiet about how she treated me? Or am I justified in feeling hurt and standing my ground? I want to make it clear, I'm not trying to sabotage her wedding or cause drama. I just want to be treated like family and not feel like an outsider in something so important to my sister. So, Reddit, AITA?